Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me today in this live webinar on natural treatments for nerve pain according to Ayurveda. Specifically, we're going to talk about addressing uh, sciatica and neuropathy. These are going to be the two that we focus on, but there could be many types of nerve pain, but mostly we're talking about treating the peripheral nervous system. And of course, these nerve conditions of nerve pain, inflamed nerves, are very debilitating, particularly the sciatic nerve being one of the largest nerves in our body. If this is pinched due to a bulging disc or a slip disc or herniated disc or osteoarthritis, other causes, then we can be debilitated on that side of the body. And if you have this sciatica on both sides of the body, it can be very debilitating, to say the least. So it's a very serious condition, but unfortunately, it's very treatable. But you have to understand the condition. You have to get your mind out of the concept, what herb do I take? What's the cure? Unfortunately, that's the social media mentality, which we see online, is everybody's searching for these quick and easy cures. What's the best herb? And of course, half the people will reply and still tell you turmeric is a cure for everything. But nowadays, we've really moved beyond turmeric. But nowadays, everybody thinks mushrooms are the cure for everything. But this is the wrong thinking. You need to understand the condition. You need to understand the system that you're treating. In this case, we're treating the nervous system, particularly usually the peripheral nervous system or pinched nerves. So, and the nervous system, according to Ayurveda, of course, is governed by vata. So it is a vata condition. Pain is also a vata condition. So in Ayurveda, the start of this treatment is very obvious. That vata has to be balanced, and we're going to talk about how you're balancing vata. I first want to just show you a few testimonials that I've had for pain. It's hard for me to find on my site the ones just for neuropathy. But overall, pain is very similar. Muscle pain, nerve pain, joint pain. I mean, there's very similar treatments. What difference is we're treating the muscles. We have certain herbs for the muscles, but many of the analgesic herbs are the same. And we're treating the nervous system. There's herbs for the nervous system, but many of the analgesic herbs that we would use for are the same. That's why I say here to treat nerve. This is on testimonials, and we're looking at pain inflammation. To treat pain are always necessary. That's what I'll repeat. You have to get away from this kind of idea. Oh, I'll just take curcumin. I'll just take turmeric. I'll just take black cumin seed, and my nerve pain is going to be gone. Well, this type of simplistic thinking is why people don't find natural cures by themselves. But basically, your program or treatment, if you're dealing with a holistic Ayurvedic doctor, like the person and the condition, always three. In Ayurveda, we treat the doshic imbalance, which is the person, the system involved, which in this case is the nervous system, and then the state of that condition, which can be inflamed or painful. And it must include, of course, anti-inflammatory diet. Um, if you have the tools, which are the herbs are the tools. They are my tools to achieve the goals I want. I do not give out an herb, say this herb is for neuropathy. No, I give out an herbal formulas that are supporting the nervous system, nourishing the nervous system, warming even the body. Uh, eliminating pain or improve the vertebrae. That's not the way herbs work. That's the way medicine works. So we have to be clear that you have to change their diet. You have to take the herbs. Now, you don't have to take these herbs forever. If you take a painkiller from the doctor, you're going to have to take it forever. Meanwhile, the pathology that created the pain is still going to continue, and you will have other adverse effects later on. So here we have some testimonials. I woke up with no pain in the morning. I'm not long. She got herbs. Did you take supplements? Well, I'm not providing supplements. Nerve pain is not a nutritional deficiency. Now, nutritional deficiency can aggravate it. Low B vitamin, low carbohydrate diet, low fat diet can aggravate these conditions. So there's a nutritional aspect of supplements and vitamins to treat your chronic health condition. You don't understand why nutritionists can't treat many health conditions, because they don't have herbs. Herbs are not nutritional supplements. They're herbal remedies. They're treating the nervous system. They're treating the pain. They're treating the circulation. They're improving the digestion. They're improving the elimination. And we have to identify the causes why you had this condition, which we're going to cover. So here are some testimonials. This woman said, I tried many different venues. Life, this is thoracic pain, no headaches. I mean, that's related. Say migraine is a type of nerve pain. So even though I say that we're focusing on sciatica, neuropathy, if somebody has migraine headaches and sciatica, probably the migraine headache is going to be gone too, because this herb is not just like only going to the sciatic nerve and treating that. No, it's treating the whole nervous system. And your causes and things that you're doing in your daily life that are making you susceptible to having nerve pain, tingling, numbness, or neuropathy, non-diabetic neuropathy we're talking about, then the same causes are causing your migraine. So you'll often see people had nerve pain. There might be some routine for this person. This is IBS. I did a webinar last week on IBS, stomach inflammation, nerve pain. So this person did have some nerve pain, terrible headache, and some back pain that she associated as nerve pain. And she gave a product she mentions a product I have called Nerve Pain Tea, work like a charm. So they're in here, abdominal discomfort, cut down on her pain meds, no more migraine, no more joint pain, no more elbow pain, no more, this one is fibromyalgia, no more inflammation. So let's talk next about the causes. So you have to first start and say, okay, we're treating not a medical condition. You're treating your nervous system, whether it's migraine headache, whether it's sciatic pain, whether it's neuropathy, any type of nerve inflammation and pain. First thing you got to treat. Okay, second thing you have to treat is the nervous system. The first thing you have to treat is what's managing the nervous system, and that is the Vata dosha, and Ayurveda is managing the nervous system. And we know what aggravates Vata: cold, dry, light, and active. Qualities in the world increase Vata. For those who understand Vata Vruti, the Vata becomes high. So we know right off the bat that cold will make all your nerve pain worse. Cold drinks, cold water, cold room, cold air conditioner, cold ice pack is going to make it worse. What's going to make it better? Hot bath, warm food, ginger, garlic, onions, hot bath, salt bath, warm oil massage. All better. Simple. First thing you got to do is everything cold out. And everybody knows if you got air conditioner on, you start shaking. That's your nerves. They don't like that cold. And you get in a warm room, you relax, you feel a little lazy, you feel like taking a nap, you get in that warm bath, all your nervous system and your muscles all relax from that warm salt bath. The first lesson, eliminate everything cold, including the ice water and ice cream. Second, dry. The nerves hate dry. They hate low-fat diet. Low-fat diet is a cause of nerve pain. It makes it worse. And so we see people that have neuropathy, they have sciatica, and they're fasting, skipping meals, low-fat diet, don't want any butter, don't want any ghee. They're scared of dairy, scared of animal protein. And, now they've got this tingling numbness that's been going on. And now their feet are hurting. It's not even diabetic neuropathy. Now, of course, when we talk about neuropathy, we have diabetic neuropathy. And in that case, the blood sugar needs to be treated first. You can give a person some herbs for the nerve pain, but you have to resolve the blood sugar issue immediately, as fast as possible. Because it's the cause. Causes always have to be removed before you start giving specific treatments. So we could give them something to help comfort the pain, like an oil or something, but we focus all the treatment on getting that blood sugar under control. And of course, I have many webinars on managing blood sugar. So we're not going to talk about neuropathy created from high blood sugar because we know the cause. But a lot of the things that I'm covering today will still help that person. It's just we have to focus first on the blood sugar, then on recovering the nervous system. And often the muscles tend to be really weak afterwards and they're fatigued. And that's like the third level of treatment. So you have a diabetic neuropathy. First, the diabetes has to be under control, which isn't difficult with herbs. Plenty of bitter herbs, bitter drinks, bitter food that can manage blood sugar. It's all a matter of which herbs, what are the doses, what is the diet. Everybody's different. Then we can focus on the nervous system. And then after the nerve pain is gone, then we can focus on rejuvenating and strengthening not only the nerves, but the muscles who are probably weak from not being used as much because of the debilitating aspect of particularly sciatica or even neuropathy, where I've had clients where they're literally on wheelchairs and because of neuropathy so bad. And so they can't walk. And then once I treat the neuropathy and the pain's gone, even once they start walking, they're weak and cannot stand. So then I have to give them other types of treatment to strengthen the muscles, both oils, both internal and both diet, all to strengthen and build the muscles. So it's a secondary. So let me go back to the underlying causes. First, cold. So you want everything warm. 2, dry. You want a low-fat diet. You want extra fat. You want ghee in the diet. You want butter even in the diet. You want animal protein in the diet. And basically more fat, because we know that the nerve, we call it the myelin sheath, but it's basically a membrane too thin, it becomes hypersensitive. And you can tell if a person's out, their hands are all bony. See, that's smooth there. So this guy is definitely not, underweight or bony. It's just the bones aren't sticking out, veins aren't sticking out. Collarbone is not sticking out. So a lot of people are underweight. Being underweight is another cause of nerve problems. And you can see these type of people. They have tingling and numbness, but even they've had hypersensitivity for a long time, where sounds and words and people and touches, everything is bothering them. Even they start to have a lot of digestive problems where they're sensitive to foods and food allergies. You're already going down this path of this hypersensitivity. And a lot of it comes from being cold foods, dry foods, low-fat foods. And of course, next is stimulating. Anything that aggravates the nervous system is going to make your nerve pain worse. Every insomniac I meet generally is drinking 1 cup of coffee a day. But people with nerve pain, you can't have coffee. We know that's aggravating the nerve pain. And stress, you got to live a little more stress-free life. You got to learn to relax, do some meditation, do some yoga. Not like that's the cure, but the high stress is the cause. Your neuropathy isn't going to disappear the moment you start relaxing, but at least you're not aggravating your nervous system worse. And people who sometimes they're completely recovered from their nerve pain suddenly have a stressful event, and the migraine comes right back, or the nerve pain comes right back. So you've aggravated your nerve pain. From the mind, it's thinking, overthinking, overworried, paranoid, and then it's the mind is supported by the nervous system. Then the nervous system is affected, and now your old nerve problem is back. Anything aggravating your nervous system, coffee, chocolate, stimulants. Chocolate is a stimulant. Hot spices, all are, aggravating to the nervous system. And dryness, like dry air, dry foods. And also, a very interesting point is beans aggravate the nervous system. So, of course, many of you have maybe my patients, and if you're trying to lose weight, and you're overweight, and you're heavy, or you have high cholesterol, you have fatty liver, I put you on a bean diet. Fatty liver, you got high cholesterol, so we want this kind of like drying, depleting diet and high fiber to absorb all these lipids in your blood and not put in more bad fat, no more shrinking down, because coffee, beans, all going to make your nerve pain worse. It's very simple. You have to balance that, of course, with a treatment. Now, there are other causes too. You could have slip disc, you have a herniated disc, and you can lead to the nerve pain. So if you have osteoarthritis, you obviously have to treat the bones, but it's also a kind of osteoarthritis, osteopenia, and I've given webinars on this subjects of degenerative bone conditions, inflammatory bone conditions, date. And even when you have a pinched disc, what's happening? There's not enough cartilage between your vertebrae. And why is there not enough cartilage between your vertebrae? Well, from a nutritional point of view, we can say, well, you didn't grow it. You were having this low-fat diet, low-protein diet. Maybe you were exercising a lot, going to the gym, working out. Maybe you got a nice six-pack. Maybe you're nice and skinny, but you lost a lot of weight. But guess what? You lost cartilage too. And, then it starts pinching. That's why, this whole concept of you're skinny and buff doesn't mean healthy. I get a lot of buff, healthy people that have, for example, kidney failure because they're eating so much proteins, their kidneys start failing. Then I get thin yoga teachers who start having sciatic and nerve problems because they're not eating much. They're staying thin and flexible for their profession, but they're not nourishing their joints enough, and they're often dry. How do you know if you're dry? Your skin's dry. Your stools become dry. You get hard stools. And when the fat level's low in the body, you also get poor sleep, dry skin, dry lips, dry stools, thin skin on the hands, bony, cracking joints, another sign of low-fat diet. So if you've got cracking joints, you're not doing any dairy, not doing any meat, trying to do low-fat, then, and you got nerve pain, you will know why you've got it. You have to change. You have to remove those causes first, number one. So if you're over-exercising can create, kind of arthritis and rubbing and depleted tissue. You're working out too hard. You're burning off too much fat. Even low carb diet can make your nerves worse. that if we talk about nutritional terms, you can't really treat these nerve pains with nutrition, but you could sure make it worse by having nutritional deficiencies, particularly of the B vitamins. Where are the B vitamins coming? They're coming from grains. So if you're on a grain-free diet, which is a new fad, it's been around longer than the new mushroom chocolate fad, which is going to make your nerve pain worse too. And that's the no carb fad, of course, fad. There's carbs in fruit, there's carbs in vegetables. So this is really a misnomer to say that, but I know what people mean. They mean no grains. They're scared of all grains. They're fattening. But that will lower your B vitamin, increase your anxiety, and make your nerve pain worse. So basically, you're going to get the proper diet. It needs to be given individually, specifically to each person. There's no one diet for everybody, but we're speaking in general terms for somebody who was sitting in front of me with a nerve inflamed nerve condition, sciatica, migraine, headache, tingling, numbness, nerve pain. It could be anywhere in the body. It doesn't just have to be on the feet. People can have it right on their hands. People can have nerve pain right around their eyes. And this is type of, migraine, and it's still related to the nervous system. All these people need special diets, but there are some general rules. More fat, more oil, no beans, no dry foods, building foods, because particularly when you have a slip disc, you're trying to build the fat between the joints. And of course, there's other exercises like certain asana and inverted poses, hanging from your feet, and spinal decompression, which can be done, in a good chiropractor can do spinal decompression where you're separating the spine out. Asana, yoga can help with this, but you still need to build the tissue in between the spine so it doesn't pinch it again. And that's not coming from fasting. If you're doing intermediate fasting, you have nerve pain, you're making it worse. If you're drinking coffee and you have nerve pain, you're making it worse. If you're trying to lose weight even, and you have nerve pain, you're probably making it worse. So these causes are unique to each person, but through my questioning, my diagnosis, I'm identifying what the person's doing that's making the environment for this nerve pain, and what's making it worse, and what would be preventing them from recovering. And all these causes, it could be 5 or 6 causes with everybody, and they could be different, need to be removed first, the first line of treatment. Then I'll give them the diet, and we're going to have to take out inflammatory things like I said, chocolate, coffee, most cases tomatoes, particularly if they're vata pitta, and there's a pitta aspect too, where there's heartburn, inflammation of the muscles, heat, where it's radiating heat and there's burning sensation. Then we have to take away pitta increasing foods from the diet too. So these are the two main causes, two main types in Ayurveda. We have a vata type where it's kind of dry and cracking joints and low fat. And then we have a pitta type where it's more burning and heat involved in this nerve pain. And for a migraine, it's more around the eye, like the bright light, you can't take it, and you get that's pitta. If you feel the pain coming up the back of the neck, up the spinal column, it's more related to the nervous system. And of course, there's many great home remedies for migraines, which really surprise people, like putting your feet in warm water, putting ice pack on your head or your back. But that's another story. I have videos on treating migraines. So next, I think we covered the diet a little bit there. I just want to review warm foods, 2-3 meals a day in most cases, no cold food, no dry foods, more oil, more ghee, more butter. Don't do beans, do dark chicken, fish. Don't skip grains. You need bread, whole wheat bread, or whole brown rice, by the individual. I will pick the grain, but you can't eliminate the grain. And there'll be no dry vegetables like cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower. These are generally going to be removed, not 100%, but you don't want to be eating big bowls of broccoli when you have nerve pain. It's a flour. It's very debilitating. It's for overweight people, not for a thin person with cracking joints and nerve pain. No. And then if there's a lot of inflammation, and particularly pitta and acidity and heartburn, then all the tomato family or nightshades, cruciferous, should be removed. So there are little variations there. And there are times where we have a kapha person due to the weight pushing down on the vertebrae, pinching the nerves, and they have to do inversion exercises and that may have to take place for each individual. One person, a vata person, could be depleted and have, and then due to the depletion, their spine is touching. And then for pitta, it could be the whole body could be inflamed with muscle pain, joint pain, nerve pain, and we know that causes just overall systemic inflammation. And it could be kapha type, where they're heavy, overweight, and not exercising, and the excess weight's pushing down on the spine, cutting the sciatic nerve. So there can be different causes based on the individual. But now let's talk about the herbal remedies, assuming you've got the causes eliminated, which I will do if you do an appointment with me. And then we're going to give you a specialized diet. I gave you some basic guidelines. And then we're going to pick let's talk about the different herbs. I put a few on my desk right here. We have hundreds of herbs in the clinic, but, one of the best is just ashwagandha right there. One of the best herbs for balancing vata. You can see that is organic, brought in from India. And ashwagandha is very good for the nervous system. And you'll see a lot of these formulas have it. One of the best herbs for the nervous system, including for Parkinson's and damaged nerves like MS, we use conch, we call mucuna, and it has to be the seeds. Mucuna, or it's also called kapikat, street name in Ayurveda. I call it mucuna seeds, not the leaf. It has to be the seed. This is used for Parkinson's and trembling and nerve damage. But you can see all the formulas are using it. So it depends on the individual. Say there's just tingling, numbness, not a lot of pain. I may start off with a nerve support formula. And this would be taken twice a day. And look at that, in warm milk, because it has to be taken in fat. If they don't like the milk or they can't digest it, then I have warm water with ghee. It has to be taken with fat. And you can see it's, 1 or 2 teaspoons. This is used for tremors, twitching, calming the nerves. And there's the ashwagandha. There's the conch, which I was just talking about. Brahmi, also premier herb for the nervous system, not just the mind. And dashamoola. Dashamoola means 10 roots. Very grounding, very supportive, and very nutritional. Very simple formula for not severe nerve conditions. And a lot of times we use this after they recover from neuropathy. Is pain, then we take a similar formula and we just add in some analgesic herbs that are particularly good for the nervous system. There's the ashwagandha, there's the dashamoola again, there's the conch, but now we have, look at the last one, tagar, which is a sedative related to valerian, but we call it Indian valerian, but it's also great for the nervous system. So it's a small amount. Nirgundi is definitely an analgesic herb for pain. And Yogaraj Guggul is another formula. As much as 20 herbs are in that formula. So this is a formula in formulas. And this one's much stronger. 1 teaspoon in a half-quarter cup of milk. Because the Guggulu makes it stronger, darker, and has more of an analgesic effect because of the Guggulu. So there's 3 analgesics in there. Basically the same formula. You got the Guggulu, and then you got the tagar, and then you got the nirgundi. So there's 3 added analgesic herbs to the same base formula. And the Yogaraj Guggul is another formula. So we call formula in a formula. Now, if there's a shaking and trembling and kind of nerve damage like in Parkinson's, then we have this one. We don't use medical terms. Trembling, nerve pain from damaged nerves, even from infection like hepatitis, I mean herpes. Some autoimmune conditions I use it, but there it is, conch. This is the premier herb for Parkinson's. Dashamoola, I showed you before, 10 roots. Brahmi, great for the mind. Shank Pushpi and Jatamatsi are very relaxing. They're also in the calming formula. But it's really that conch is the secret. It there. The powerful. It just moved up to the front. Now, if there's inflammation, too. Now, this anti-inflammatory, I know people see the turmeric and they think it's the yellow and they think it's turmeric. But really, if you look, turmeric's not at the top. The top is boswellia. What's boswellia? Boswellia, it's called shilajit in Ayurveda, and that's the extract of frankincense. And even frankincense is number 2. So this is really original. Traditional formula didn't even have any turmeric. It just had the frankincense and amlaki and a little pipali. But we do add curcumin extract and a little turmeric to give it that color. And the two together, phenomenal. I mean, look, just says half teaspoon, quarter cup. It really brings down inflammation and pain pronto. And people are very impressed with it. Probably one of the top formulas. So you start combining these together, 2 of those together, you're dropping that pain fast within days. And then maybe they come back for the second time. They still may have some pain, but they don't need the anti-inflammatory. Now, if we've got deeper pain, muscle pain, joint pain, nerve pain, more of a combination, which is pretty common, then I may give them this one. This is just pure Yogaraj Guggul with a little Nugundi and Targar. That's all the 3, the analgesics, which you saw in the other formula, are all here by themselves. And that's for joint pain, nerve pain, and rheumatoid conditions. Also pretty strong, a half teaspoon to 1 teaspoon. And this is balancing, of course, Vata versions. Vata imbalance, Vata Rudi. If the person was Pitta, then we would have to give them Kaisha or Guggul. Now, so that would be the first line of defense, give something for the nerves. But then topically, want to use something too. And we'd have many choice. The base, I guess, would be sesame oil, because you don't want any coconut oil. And this is, now, of course, we have different, if they're inflamed and it's painful, then this is sesame oil with analgesic herbs, good for burning, joint pain, gout, right? And this is actually the Pitta version. But we have a Vata version, nerve. And if they're, sometimes I'll even give out the sleeping formula and put it on there, because particularly if there's twitching and shaking in these muscles, because there is some analgesic qualities to these herbs, and they're very warming. So again, I'll pick one of these. Also internally, I'm Migi, because we know Brahmi is really great for the nervous system, the adrenals, help with focus and help them relax. So generally, we give some people this 1 teaspoon in the morning. You know, the herbs don't just do one thing like the label says. This is brain, but it's really helping the whole nervous system. If the person had their mental day like water, and you could see I had a couple testimonials on that, relaxing, good for anxiety, headaches, and nerve pain. And now we're using, of course, what Bayer discovered, white willow bark, which is what they made aspirin from. Feverfew is often known to help with headache. Skullcap is a kind of sedative and also nerve for nerve pain. Chamomile, we know, is relaxing, nervine, and a little licorice root to kind of tie it all together as a catalyst. So, you know, people have multiple issues. Nobody just comes in with only one issue. Everybody's got a laundry list. It's just that this is their main one. So if they have nerve pain, sciatica, pinched nerve, plus a headache, then I know I can give that formula for that. Now, if they're really stressed out, burned out, addicted to coffee, and I got to get them off the coffee, I can give them this adrenal tea and know it doesn't have mushrooms in it and coffee like you're seeing online. And this got ashwagandha. See, that ashwagandha is really going to help. Good for the nerves. Licorice, cinnamon, cardamom, all good for the nerves. Beautiful tea, really. All roots. And there's a lethra root. So that's a little adaptogen there. So this will give them a little pick them up, get them off the coffee. And help the nervous system and lower the stress. So this is like the stressed out working person with the nerve pain, and I got to keep them going. Oh man, that cardamom smells so good. And now inflammation and there's space, you know, lot of people who are lightheaded and spacey. And remember, dashamoola, only it was in powder here. This helps digestion. So the system balances vata with inflammation, and it's really just dashamoola cut tea, just like in those formulas. Dashamoola sometimes diet I could get 2 times a day. So things are a little easy. Problem. If you want to medicate your life, you gotta be prepared to make some changes. People who are willing to that get these great testimonials, and I have. It's not pill. Pain's aching pain. Where we cause movement, cause standing. Why we had the pain. And that's why my point, an hour and a half, I was having an individual, how much time for them for me to determine this person, why. So I hope that inspire to give you a type of condition that's impossible to treat. And if you follow all the guidelines, you can different from one. You have to do the changes. And I wish all of you the best of happiness